First off, trying to take a thumbnail, it's a little challenging. Anyway, it's March something, 3rd maybe. Yeah, it's March 3rd. We're getting into spring. We're getting into lawn care. We're getting into all the things, right? Especially down here in the South, Gulf Coast, Houston, Texas area. I'm in League City. So here's a little tidbit that most people don't follow. If you're going to use weed and feed, which a lot of people are, water the freaking grass, okay? Read the instructions. If you're going to use an herbicide, read the instructions. If you're going to put down a pre-emergent, read the instructions. And I say this because every single year, people decimate their lawns with poor practices and hoping for rain after an application. It says specifically on all these packages, do not wait for rain. Do it before or after a heavy rain, but if you have time to adequately water the lawn. And I see this all the time. People use this kind of weed and feed, that kind of weed and feed. There's a lot of brands, there's a lot of names, there's a lot of junk out there, okay? But number one, if you want some effective lawn care, I'm not a fan of weed and feed. If y'all follow me and listen to my videos, I don't care about that crap. I like some biodiversity. But the fact is, I'm not going to jump out here and say, oh, don't ever use it, all that kind of crap, because it's going to get used. People are not going to stop overnight, being okay with weeds and biodiversity. I'm cool with that, dude. You want a perfect, weed-free lawn? Great, strive for it. But here's the deal. Don't ruin your freaking grass because you didn't follow the instructions, all right? It says to water in deeply after application. A few of these products even, like I know Nelson's Weedinator, happens to say water the grass before application so that it spreads around, gets wet, does its thing. And then you want to water it in after, still heavily, right? Now, again, I don't know specifically what those instructions say on the Nelson's Weedinator, but I do happen to know that it says to water the grass so it's wet before you put the application down. So if you're striving for this amazing lawn this year and you're jumping on the train of I got to kill all the weeds and I'm about to spray anything and everything I can, number one rule before you shoot from the hip, read the instructions. Number 2, follow the instructions. If you do, your rate of success will go up drastically, okay? Because I've been in the lawn care industry for 14 years now. I've been trying to fix lawns for 7 years. I say try like I don't achieve it. I achieve it all the time. I follow a different mode of action and a different philosophy in my lawn care. I like to choose the feed your way through it method with stuff that has biological inoculants and soil food like alfalfa meal and lactobacillus bacteria and stuff that supports fungi. I'm not a big fan of kill every other plant that's not St. Augustine. I don't think it's environmentally or ecologically sound. I just don't think so. But the fact is, okay, companies like Scott's and Nitrofos and even Nelson's and all kinds of people out there are selling thousands and thousands and thousands of tons of herbicide-filled fertilizer because that's what the market demands, okay? And that's cool, all right? You want what you want. It's America. But hey, America, we went to school, most of us. Read the instructions. If you're going to use that crap, use it properly. Because every year I see the same thing on a Facebook post or somewhere in a comment on YouTube. Oh, I've been trying the same thing for 4 years and my lawn didn't change. Really? You tried the same thing for 4 years and you got no results? Come on now. Show me how that makes sense. I try different stuff every week. Probably a little too excessive on the other side, but I definitely get all kinds of wild results, okay? Sometimes not so great. Most of the time they're freaking awesome, and now they continue to get better. Without herbicides, I might add. But again, I saw this last night. on a Facebook post that some people tag my business in it. And I'm glad. I'm thankful for those tags, for those comments where people do shout me out. But I see the same thing year after year after year. My husband put down Bayer weed and feed for the last 3 years, and our lawn only got worse. And my questions are, okay, number one, if you tried it like 2 years in a row and it didn't work, why'd you try the same thing, right? But if you're gonna try the same thing, did you do the exact same thing? Because you can take a specific application or a product and use it in different ways and get varying results. Let's say I've tried this with something like molasses. If I use this sweet, wholesome, organic molasses from HEB that I get, I, for some reason, get better results than if I use, I don't know, the cheap horticultural molasses, right? Or if I get Briar Rabbit, blackstrap molasses from the grocery store, I swear, grocery store molasses seems to work better. Okay, I don't know exactly why, what the rhyme and reason is, but it does. However, I've used a gallon of molasses on a lawn, and I've used 12 ounces. And to be quite honest, I really think that 12 ounces performed better than the gallon because it worked as a biostimulant instead of overfeeding it to where the microbes got lazy. My point there is, if you're going to try the same product, at least try some variation, right? So that's part one. Part two of this what did you use kind of thing is people often don't understand the importance of how deep you have to water your lawn after an application. Scott's Bonus S is very well known for its little pink granules, okay? Now, I don't know 100%, but I'm going to go out way on a limb here and say part of it is so that you have a visual thing to watch, that you need water until those little pink granules cannot be seen anymore. Now, if you water them enough, they turn white, right? They oxidize, stuff like that. But water them until they disappear, okay? You want to water that stuff in the ground because a lot of this stuff works as a systemic herbicide, all right? It is not a topical thing that's working, and it's in a little granule, so it's not going to cover the whole plant anyway. It's going to get absorbed through the roots to kill the plant. And then you need enough water to make the nitrogen work to where it helps the grass bounce back because it's technically an herbicide, and it's kind of killing both, but it's killing the weed plant more than it should be killing your turf plant, okay? So if you're watering adequately, then your turf plant has a way better chance of recovery. Here's the other thing. You have a crappy lawn, you have spots all over the lawn, you have bare spots, all this stuff. You're putting down a pre-emergent. Well, pre-emergents are also just herbicides that work again in the soil to immediately kill weeds as they germinate. Here's the flip side of that. They also kill roots. So if you have a struggling lawn, okay, you're killing off your struggling lawn because now most of us have St. Augustine grass. That stuff creeps out, right? And then it cannot drop roots because that herbicide is preventing it from dropping roots. Crazy, right? And I've seen it year after year after year, and I have to say it year after year after year. So I'm going to get on this soapbox up here on the tailbed of my truck and tell you folks, read the freaking instructions, water the grass, and if you tried it for 3 years in a row, maybe it's time to try something different, okay? Because weed and feed doesn't feed as much as you think so. Feed the soil, feed the turf, allow some biodiversity, because guess what? When I die, I don't think anyone's going to say, he kept a weed-free lawn. No, I'd rather go make a bigger impact than that than worry about the weeds. And biodiversity is really good for preventing soil erosion. It's good for microbes in the soil. It's good for nutrients in the soil. There's all kinds of stuff that we're killing in the soil with this treat and defeat mentality, but I know what's going to happen. So at least if you're going to do it, read the instructions, water the grass, and never, ever, ever wait for rain. Okay? There we go. That's my soapbox. I'm jumping off of it for now. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Okay? I hope that everybody hops on the SSB train with me this year and next year, and we let the juice loose. Okay? Check it out. What does this say? What does it say right there? Boom. Let the juice loose, baby. Hippie juice. That supports soil biology. All right? But if you're going to try the treat and defeat mentality thing, at least follow the instructions. Have a super groovy day. Peace.